Good afternoon, everyone. It is January 11th, 2023. We have just closed the market about an hour ago. Globex has opened up and is kind of trading around the highs of our RTH session. Let's get into what we had today. We had a gap up scenario and we came into the 65 area. During the overnight, we had pretty much exactly what I was looking for. I had written and discussed on video that I wanted to see 35 stay bid. That would allow us to get into the 60 area. That was our overnight high, I believe, right around 60, 65. And I was expecting some sort of liquidation from these trapped longs here. And that is what we had. We had some slight selling, and then I said I was expecting us to get in towards 95 to 4,000 for the rest of the session, and our high of the day came in at 92 half. So just a couple points shy there. We nailed the overnight low, the overnight high. I did not expect it to take so long during the RTH. Here we can just clearly see that took several hours to get on top of this area and start pushing upwards, but we did get it. So now, what am I looking at for tomorrow? Well, over here you can clearly see Thursday we've got CPI coming into the market, pre-market, an hour beforehand. Uh, no surprise, CPI usually brings a large move. That's been how most of our entrances to areas have happened. I think the last one was this CPI release here, which had the market go from 3760 to an open about 100 points higher, and where we balanced before, I believe, another news day taking us to 4142-ish before we sold off and came into this balance here. So CPI is kind of directing us where we need to go. Let's look at the volume for a second. Let's pull up this chart for you guys. This is just some high time frame volumes. What are we looking at? Let's get rid of the VWAPs for a second, the VWAP deviations for the month. This is just a monthly profile with some higher time frame figures on it. The monthly POC still sitting at 3830. If we do build some volume around 15, that'll probably shift up to there, that 15 to 20 area. Right now, we are trading beyond that standard deviation of the volume. Of the volume profile, we're trading above that, and that is why I came into the day quite bullish, and that is why I had the number 35 written out, where we did have the overnight low come in right around there. So as long as we're above this number, which is now sitting at 59.5, as long as we're above this number, it's going to be hard to look for large sells. Um, so I would be cautious on taking a large short position against it. But so we've got 59.5 coming in there. Now, if we tune that down to the weekly outlook, again, let's get rid of these VWAPs. You can see that same type of numbers coming in at 71 right now. I believe the full session is coming in at 75. No, 71 as well. So that's coming in at 71. So to me, what this means is if we come back inside this 71 to 60 area, so kind of this here, this 75 to 60 area, if we come within this, just the value area high of today's session, 71 being that volume profile standard deviation, 1.5. If we come inside that, come inside Monday's highs, get below this kind of a point of control at 60, get below that monthly standard deviation 1.5, get inside of all that, and I think we can get a liquidation down into weekly VWAP sitting at 44s. 44s has been an interesting spot. It's been a nice level in general. So I think we can get into weekly VWAP, but really I think we can get into weekly value area low, which is currently sitting right around 19 or 20-ish, kind of around here. And this is where I do have a neutral zone drawn out. Just being that if we do build volume there, we're likely to have that monthly shift in the POC. We're likely to have another weekly shift in the POC as well. So we'll have some value areas moving around, which maybe might open us up to lower prices. So I've held off on discussing anything down below. I do think I am biased towards if we do come into these lower prices, if there is no churn, if the daily POC does not shift, I think we will keep liquidating down, get below value area, get below the monthly VWAP at 92s, and really start selling off lower into the 70, 70, 50, 30 sort of area. Ignore this here. But largely what I'm looking at is sort of this area. Now, as long as we are above that weekly standard deviation, sitting at 71 right now, as long as we're above that, I'm not going to be playing this short. And really what I should have done was had some long trades today. I didn't hit on anything. You can see once we cracked that IB high, we held that standard deviation really well right here and again over here. I know that it's kind of an ugly chart, but we held it twice and ramped into the close. Uh, now, so I will be looking to get long again 96s, 06s, 15, kind of this general area. As long as we're above that, we might have a weekly POC shift up towards 59.5, I believe, is where we've done quite a bit of volume. So if that does come back down here, we might have a weekly POC shift that might open us up to higher prices. We'll have to see how it pans out. But in general, I'm a long above this 75-ish number, this 70, 75 area, and I'm a short below it, looking for this kind of 20 area to trade. That's all I have for you guys, I believe. Again, a lot of news, big news coming out pre-market, and this plan might be completely nullified by the time we open. I will post an update to Twitter sometime pre-market, likely just before the open, as things will likely be moving around quite a bit. Hope that helps, and have a great night.